bei Limoges ist das.
Provence. Richtung. Ja, Marktplatz von Limoges. Ja. Das mit einer provenzalischen Rückraum.
Ah.
Aus der Louisiana. Daher kenne ich die. Da war ich noch nie.
Ich war da auch noch nicht. Das ist das Meditationszentrum von den Shambhala, bei Europa. Da haben wir so ein großes Retreat-Zentrum und die machen super viel Programme, Aikido und Ikebana und Teezeremonie und Meditation und natürlich hauptsächlich deren Ausbildungsprogramme erhalten. Und wir haben jetzt ein kombiniertes Retreat, Aikido und die Meditationsstufen 1 und 2 von dem Shambhala-Training. Ja, so mal, Hochlauf. Interessant. Volles Programm. Von morgens bis abends. Volles Programm.
Die Kunst geht nach Brot. Weil es ihn auch letzte Woche noch. Schlosshof. In Wuppertal. Jetzt ist erstmal Sommerpause.
Und danach macht er mit seiner Tochter ein Survival-Camp. Natur mit Anhängern. Volle Kanne. Deswegen kommt er nicht. Jetzt habe ich keinen schlechten Spruch. Dabei ist mein Schwert schon drin. Jetzt hat er mir ein Pilger mitgeschickt. Okay, das darfst keinen verraten. Jetzt kommen sie alle.
Just join. I will teach in English this class because there's international situation. So we'll do a basic class then for you.
Thank you.
So let's see what happens today in the YouTube transmission stream. Last time, did you see it was all blurry, there was no picture, and then the sound collapsed in the end, so it was total chaos class last week. Anyhow, thank you for coming. We have a tryout today, so we can go to the really basic understanding of how to use your body first. Okay, お願いします. So, I already take this up. Morote dori. Morote. So, very basics. Sylvia is in a proper position with a clear balance. Now, of course, one of our basic teachings in this kind of understanding is how to influence the balance of the partner without forcing her. So if I would try to push your arms down, actually I stabilize and secure her stand. But if I change my body structure, inner body structure, this happens. Now, this is a secret technique, but I already said a couple of times within the last couple of weeks, it's now public. What you cannot understand if you cannot feel it. Of course, it's not yet martial arts practice or aikido, kata no keiko, form-based practice. It's first becoming aware of how to use the body. So, what I do is I make my legs flexible and movable, so they can move easily. What means like the weight distribution is perfectly balanced between both feet. And the stance is quite narrow, as you can see. But my knees are slightly bent. Not much, but slightly bent. Second, so by that activity, all my center lowers a little bit. Second, now I pull my diaphragm downwards, as if I would expand or try to expand the belt and all what we have as a bind with the hakama strips around the center. And then I realign my shoulder axis, so my shoulder blades come sliding around the rib cage and turning downwards. So the effect is that I actually lower this point, but not by trying to push the grasping point down, just by reorganizing, reconfiguring my body. So because it's a good training for everybody with a feedback process, we are practicing by 4 now. Could you please come? Josef, Sylvia, stay. Yeah? You grasp my arm. Yeah, or 5. Maybe, why not 5? Okay, come around. Now, Bernson, you come here and feel my shoulder. Just touch it, like your fingers. You can use both hands. I think this will be enough. Now, you compress my center. Here. Put your hands a little bit lower to the tanden and squeeze it. Okay, so now I think that's enough. But if you want, you can touch my knees. Knee down, go down, sit down, make yourself comfortable. Okay, now I start with you. Don't hold me stiff, just touch it. Okay, you see this was bending. Now you feel I'm expanding, and you feel how's my muscles or my shoulder. Yeah, but it's completely loose.
Yeah,
it's just slided. Yeah, it's sunk down. Yeah. Okay, so one of your practice partners is the display for what you're doing with your body, but the others give you feedback for if you really relax your knees or activate your leg work and expand your center and relax your shoulders. Okay? That's basic practice. So, secret for the international YouTube seminar group. Try, please. Yes, you try too. Of course, you can try. That's perfect. Twice 4. Yeah, just go to the group. So the question is there a change? Doesn't matter if it affects the balance to a kuzushi, but the question is there a change? Do you feel a change in this body?
This way?
Doesn't matter which way, however. Did you feel a change from the beginning? I just hold my hand. You could get the point, so a little bit more, even stronger. So now I do the same routine. Did you feel this change? Did you feel this change? Okay, so you see, I actually start to take your balance, but not by, if you hold strong, by trying to do something new, just by rearranging my body behind this connection point. You should affect that too. Yeah, go ahead, try. No, everybody has to try once, so you have to mix around. Center. Press. Okay, you use a lot of bending knee. That's okay. Please, you come around. So maybe now it's important to know the structure of his stance. So if you push me center. Do you want to feel my shoulders? So as soon as I, maybe only on this arm, the bicep, don't push, just feel. Yeah, so you can feel that if there is something like this activity or if it's loose. Now, when I start relaxing my knees, I know towards this direction, cross to his stance, if I drop my arm in this direction, it's more efficient. Now I expand the center and I relax shoulder, but the drop, the direction of dropping arm is away from the stance. So it's not in that line. It's to my center, to my front, and so to his front. Feel again? Oh, thank you. Just grab. So if I would try to do something here in this line, I actually put a lot of energy, even if I change to your front foot. But if I'm dropping, towards my center line, it's also away from your center, due to the fact that we are standing in Hanmi position. And the Hanmi mirrors the direction where we not go, because we go away from it. Okay? Try again. Fühl mal diesen Arm. Der gibt dir Informationen. Hier, mit beiden Händen hier an der. Dieser Arm arbeitet, der andere Schulter arbeitet auch so sehr. Und da würde ich ganz sanft fühlen. Nicht feste auflegen die Hände, sondern so, dass du spürst, die Spannung, ob da Spannung kommt in den Muskeln oder ob die weich bleiben. Auch in diesem Teil. Ja,
Jetzt ist es total spannend.
okay, nochmal. Habt ihr schon alle durchprobiert?
Ja.
Beide Seiten?
Nein.
Ja, mach doch mal die zweite Seite. Ja. Genau, Bernd hat gerade. Okay. So, origin of this motion is always from ground upwards. So first the legs, then the center, then the shoulder axis and direction away from. So you feel something like dropping by this motion. Maybe this is some difference between the systematics of the Swedish style, where you have a very grounded, stable sound. It's a little bit different to use this one, but This is the effect. So now I was actually pulling by my diaphragm. This again and again. Okay? Keeping this arm open and loose. So it's okay if you try to do it, you know, like a couple of times repetitively. So and direct. By checking, is this arm still soft? Okay? Again. Okay. Squeeze. Und drück mal. Die Hüfte muss frei sein, sodass sie sich nach hinten oder aufrichten kann. Weil wenn ich das Zwerchfell runterhole und die Hüfte festhalte, dann gebe ich nur Druck nach vorne. Wenn ich die frei lasse, dann kann man in alle Richtungen ausdehnen. Ja? Also die Hüfte ist nicht festgehalten, sondern die bewegt sich mit der Ausdehnung sozusagen in eine andere Stellung, so als würde die sich aufrichten. So. Dann hat man das Gefühl oder den Eindruck, dass auch nach hinten der Bauchraum weiter wird. Probieren. Seid ihr schon durch? Wollt ihr das nächste? Okay. Okay. Basics. Don't be so shy, please. Don't be so shy. Today everybody is shy. Good. Now, of course, this is just a preparation. Now, you can be like that from ground up always. You don't need to be stiff first and then relax your knees and then expand the center and then relax the shoulders. No, be like this. So if the partner attacks, this influence happens immediately. It's not that I try to take you down, because then he's stable. I try to use my body as described, be prepared, and when you attack, you already feel this kind of change. Okay? If you grasp, try to stand. Keep your stance. Okay. Now, of course, if this happens to my partner, to Uke, naturally he wants to get up again and stabilize himself. That's what we use. So you make a connection when you grasp. You don't want to go down. You just want to hold strong. So this effect happens, and you come back up. Let go. Just grab tight. Thank you. So I can use it. But you come back into stance. I can use it. But you want to get back if I let go this connection. Now, when I take this influence and you want to get up, I just turn around my arm and sit down. Okay, you grab. I don't do nothing, you have a hold. One more time. You grab. I do what I described before. You want to get back up. Again. I do that. When you get back up, I just turn around and sit down. Okay, everybody of you knows that form. You would name it as a certain technique, what we could call by its name. But I don't want you to do the form. I want you to establish this kind of body awareness for yourself, for your own body. Create a kuzushi, off balance moment, because the partner grasps. Letting go this so he can regain his balance. But when he regains his balance, turn around and sit down. Okay? So. Den Bauch legt, um den zu kontrollieren. Und das ist kein Wurf, sondern Kata mir was. Also halte dich. Okay. はい。します。So, let's discuss this situation. Maybe you can show this position. You probably remember from Endo Sensei's teachings how he develops that kind of feeling for the timing and the adjustment from Tori's side to Uke's response or system. So if you just stay strong, don't move yourself, okay. Just stay strong and keep your arms close to your body. So if I would like to push your arm down, I probably cannot do that because you're super stable. But could you see this? Did you see this elevation of his fist? One more time for the camera. Now, is it good? Good. Looking good for the camera? Yeah. I'm just joking. I cannot do that anymore, you can see. So if you're strong and I push, there is something like this happening. So even if you want to hold and not move, don't move at all. Not at all. Even if I let go suddenly, there is still a movement. So this is in effect what we try to try to find and use. In this moment when I gave this kind of kuzushi to the partner, and his response is to stand up. It's not only because he wants to maybe to regain his balance, it's also an effect of what we just showed. It's almost impossible not to react on each other. So you cannot, like be just like a statue without moving because your system is fully alive. And because when I put some motion or energy to here, it's natural that there's a response. Now this is exactly the moment where we change the direction. When the, let's say, stress or influence is released, so every movement becomes free, possible. Okay. This is one important information to check when is the moment when the partner feels so light or so easy to move. And it's sometimes very, very important that Uke does not do by him or herself this kind of motion, just wants to regain stability or balance. Now, a second principle is the workful, we discussed it already last or 2 weeks ago, the workful energy of gravity, what's free to everyone. So if you hold me up. Of course, if I try to push you down, it's very difficult. But if I go down by following the gravity, it's very easy and very hard for him to keep stand. So these both things, sometimes you would feel maybe, just turn around a little bit, both hands, that if I want to go down, it's not good. So maybe then you have to change a little bit the distance. So the effect of dropping your weight is more effectful because it goes apart or away from the supporting stance of Uke. Now anyhow, also this technique or technology is well known. You can use gravity and the opposite, like when the partner is light, as if there is no gravity in this moment. So the play between those both options or moments is here in this technique. Once again, by changing your own body structure, you influence this and use the gravity to go down. Don't try to move your partner. It's moving yourself and observing the right timing to find out when is there a change. So when there is a change after, let's say, relaxing, inhabiting your own body, so the partner effect, something like kuzushi, how to release that, and when is the right moment to change direction, and when is the right moment to just sit down. Okay? Change partner. Try again. Thank you.
festgesetzt. Wenn du das beweglich hältst, dann gibt es einen anderen Einfluss. Ich lasse oben alles frei, mache das Zentrum weit, stütze aber sozusagen, jetzt würde ich da hinten auf dem Hocker sitzen. Das ist zwar Einfluss, aber das ist was anderes. Es ist nur, dass beide Beine permanent zu jeder Zeit jede Bewegungsrichtung initiieren können. Jetzt hast du den Führmoment, wo du geöffnet hast, um mir den Raum zu geben, den hast du ziemlich lang gestellt. Also, ich würde das so annehmen. Du hast einen Anfang gemacht. Okay. Jetzt gibst du mir den Raum. Dann bin ich wieder sicher. Wenn du aber sozusagen unmittelbar anschließt, dass du deinen Führeinfluss zwar öffnest, aber weiter gehst, dann ist das für mich nicht wieder zusammen. Wenn ich da anschließen kann, Gewichtsverlagerung und ich muss nicht bis auf die Knie runter. Das ist zwar formal der intensivste Weg, aber auch das schließt dann wieder zeitlich nah dran, ohne eine Zäsur, weil sonst bin ich da. Sozusagen das Aneinanderschließen der Einzelelemente jetzt gleisen. Wir wollen ja eigentlich auch drauf schauen, was genau passiert da, wie ist dieses Moment. Aber das Aneinanderschließen ist natürlich der nächste Schritt. Dass das Fließen kommt, aber im Bewusstsein ist, warum, was, wie funktioniert. Also wenn wir zum Beispiel in die Form gehen und sagen, ich gehe formal tief, dann gehe ich hoch, dann gehe ich rüber, dann gehe ich runter. Dann haben wir so abgetrennte Einzelelemente, die dir jedes Mal wieder die Chance geben würden, dich zu sammeln und wieder hinzuschauen. Wenn ich aber diesen Überraschungsmoment bis zum Ende in dieser Qualität halte, dass es überraschend ist, mache ich zwar die gleichen Elemente, aber die sind gut verbunden und durchfließend. Problem.
Okay, you can continue soon, but one more principle to extract or name or describe. So, even those people who follow the channel are familiar with this kind of practice. Could you please stand like this and hold your hands like that? Same practice, same principles. I relax my knees or make my leg work easy possible, take down the diaphragm and realign my shoulder axis. The effect is that Tobias comes to the limits of the supports from the feet. Either you need to step or you go down to keep your balance somehow intact. There's actually two directions what I could use. I could take this kind of influence towards my position or send it behind you. So these both directions is very difficult to keep balance. Of course, in these two lines, so in these two directions, you're super stable. It's, if I want to move you there or there, you actually can easily keep ground. Now, this is not the classic or typical stance in Aikido. Usually we're standing in Ai or Yaku Hanmi. And Hanmi means that we face each other not open, not completely closed, but half open. If you think about the lines of the chest and the hip. Now, when I see this positioning of your feet, of course, these two directions are super stable, but these two are none. So if I would take now this connection and try to influence towards me or behind you, you are super stable. But if I take you sideways to there or sideways to there, you're not. You need to step, otherwise you collapse. So this is what you have to observe while doing what you're doing. It's the directions of where to put the partner's balance while checking the right timing, while using your body as prepared in the very beginning of the class. So if you do Moro Todori, now, I already said, I relax my knees, expand my center, and realign my shoulders to point this connection point to the front. If you would do a step like this, I would change to there, to always away from your support. Okay? Of course, we could also go the opposite way for different kind of entrances. Now, I already said, if this happens, this first influence, you want to regain your balance. And I check this moment to change the direction. Now, if you stand like this and you keep your balance again, of course the direction would come here. Now you did a step, the direction would go there. Now, so constantly I have to check your steps and see in which direction are you stable and which not. So if I find we do a construction in the end, so you're almost down. If I find myself in this situation, I want to get you down, but in this you are keeping good stance. It's because I missed to see your stance are weak towards a different direction. So even for advanced students with a lot of experience, we tend to forget to check this, to be aware, fully aware every moment, every now, because we have a form in mind, what we once learned, and we just follow the idea of the form instead of, checking, is that the reality now? Is it now correct? For instance, if I just follow my form, the form of how I know to do Moro Todori Ikkyo, could be like this. And I'm sure you would say, like, that felt not nice. It felt like harsh or strong or, unpleasant somehow. Because I was just doing my form for myself, expecting you follow me. Or even if you try to keep your balance, yourself balanced. Maybe I would just override it by going stronger or faster or more heavy. But now the same process, the same outside, with a different kind of understanding, makes it super easy for me, not dependent on any physical power, and actually pleasant for you because you don't feel anything harsh or harming or strong. But it's the same effect. And maybe the picture from outside looks identical, but of course it's completely different felt from the inner connection. So check the directions or the line of stability of uke while you're doing your technique. Even if you do slowly, maybe it's more easy to do that slowly than fast because it needs more experience. But check it. And if you see something, or if you suddenly feel something like, oh, it's not working, check. I was trying to go in a direction where you were stable, so I need to change the direction where you're not stable. And again, so I need to change the direction. If I go down here, you're strong, so I need to change the direction. Okay? Go again. Change partner. yourself. So, without any advice of do this step, now lift your arm, now you did perfectly kata. In fact, this is, let's say, it's a predicament in teaching Aikido, because if we teach form, step-by-step form, maybe we learn some movement, what leads into the same experience of if I grabbed or hold, like in this keiko today, and by moving my arms and doing some step work, I can take my partner down. But sooner or later, we will start to have the experience or the question, would it work if somebody grasps super strong, or is far taller, or is super quick, or whatever conditions we could find? And in my experience from the past 30 years, I've had the same questions, and I wasn't sure about if I could perform the technique, the kata form, against somebody who's really rigid and strong. So what we did today was something different. It was, let's say, establishing and realize how we can use the body, and which change of using the body as described happens to somebody who grasps me. And we are checking what this effect could be used like in the continuous process. And this is the other, let's say, kind of approach to understand Aikido techniques, to feel how to use your own body, how is your own body, how you can put yourself high, down, close or distance to the training partner. And then also to feel the directions of stability or instability with the partner, the effect of being soft towards being strong or stiff, and cultivate that awareness, and from there on try to find directions where you can move yourself, and by that also the partner. And actually, in the end, it's maybe from the same result. If you come from the kata, you want to find this being workful, as well as if you come from the self-awareness, body awareness practices, to come to something what looks like the same in the very end. But as I said, it's a predicament in teaching Aikido. Sometimes we need strictly forms, and sometimes we need more the feeling of ourselves and the partner. So today was more this part. Okay, we finish with this practice. はい、次呼吸法どうぞ。Ja, Sekunde. Diese Übung heißt im Kniesitz Kokyoho, also die Atemkraft schulen sozusagen. Die Richtung ist so, als würdest du mit den Armen ausstrahlen und dann seitlich über die Kante, wo er keine Stütze hat, weiterführen. Ja, vom Zentrum aus ist immer die gleiche Idee. Ich werde das jetzt nicht viel weiter erklären, sondern nur vorführen. Und da, wo er also
in seine Füße und nach vorne kann ich ihn nicht so leicht bewegen wie über die Seite. Am besten ist es ein bisschen weiter zu machen, damit es stabiler ist. Auch bei dir. Und jetzt vom Zentrum aus kommst du nach vorne, sodass meine Arme hochgehen. Du schiebst sozusagen vor. Du schiebst nicht, genau. Ein bisschen mehr, noch ein bisschen mehr. Okay, und jetzt gib dem die Richtung zum Beispiel über mein rechtes oder linkes Bein zur Seite zu kippen. Du kippst mich zur Seite um.
Ja?
Ja, weiter geht's. Das wäre dich selber umkippen. Mich umkippen. Ja, genau. Noch einmal. Genau, das ist eine Übung. Von der Körpermitte aus. Ja, das ist ein bisschen mehr Schultern. Mehr vom Zentrum nach vorne. Weiter die Arme ausdehnen. Nach oben. Ja, und jetzt zur Seite. Kipp mich das ist eine Drehung. Kipp mich in diese Richtung diagonal, raumdiagonal weit. Okay. Okay, halt nochmal bei mir. Ein bisschen stabiler sitzen. Stabil sitzen bleiben. Na, wenn ich nach vorne gehe, ist da halt ein Limit. Ne? Aber zur Seite geführt, kommt diese Grenze zum Kippen. Noch einmal die andere Seite. Dahin. Okay. Und wie du siehst, vielleicht ist das sichtbar, der Bewegungsursprung ist wieder die Körpermitte und nicht die Arme. Aus den Armen heraus ist es schwer. Klar, die Arme arbeiten mit, die sind gestützt zum Beispiel. Aber die Körpermitte rollt, schiebt nach vorne. Okay? Hi. 終わります。終わります。ありがとうございました。